Hello, it's Melinda from Scrapbookingncraft. How you all going today? So coming on with another art journal page. So this video is sped up about 4 times the normal speed I work in. I wish I worked this fast. So just cutting up some craft paper from one of my other little art journals. I wanted to do this on craft, and obviously my book is not craft based. So this page is inspired, or I suppose you could say copied, yes, copied from a lovely YouTuber called Claire in the UK, and her YouTube video name or YouTube channel name is art_journal space love, and space just being a space, not the word space. I will link her channel below. She does some fantastic work, and I saw this on her channel many moons ago, so it is a one of her older videos, and I just wanted to have a go at it. So using one of my men stencils, this is the medium men stencil, and using the mask to actually mask out a bunch of men across the page. So using a variety of acrylic paints. Dina Wakley Lemon is the first colour. Delusions Squeezed Orange is the next colour. The red colour is Dina Wakley Ruby. The next colour is Distress Paint Twisted Citron. The next colour is Dina Wakley Sky. The next colour is Dina Wakley Marine. And the 7th colour of my rainbow is Dina Wakley Fuchsia. So I had to go through all my designer of paints to find the specific colours for a rainbow. Art Journal Love does amazing things with rainbows and has all 7 colours on the page, and it looks fantastic. So I decided to basically copy her page. I'll admit that. Copy. I have done a different quote and used slightly different stencil and things, but yeah, basically it's copied. But that's okay. I'm not claiming this is my original idea. So just putting the mask down and masking around the shape with the stencil. So in doing that, the person will stay craft, as you can see, and the background, I'm not taking the paint to the top of the page or the bottom of the page, because I wanted some of the craft to show there as well. And sort of overlapping the shapes as well, having a little bit of paint in between them, but not much. So I still had a bit of paint left on my glass mat, so I'm just flipping through that journal and couldn't find a page to put the paint on. So I grabbed this little small journal and decided to use up some of the paint. So I did use the same sponge throughout with the colours. Oh, sorry, I used 2 different sponges, one for the blues and purples and one for the other colours. So these colours going into this journal do get a bit muddy, but I will still work with them. So this is just one of my smaller journals that I've done some pages in, and anytime I have excess paint, I will go and stencil it into there. So I'm just flipping through and trying to find some pages. I found these cutout pages that I had cut out ages ago and not done anything with, so I thought, right, I'll just slap the nice bright colours on those pages, and one day I will finish them. One day, yeah. I sort of cut those heads, and again, that's another one of my female stencils, head stencils, and I sort of didn't like how I'd cut them out, so they've stayed blank in my journal for a while, but now the paint's on them, liking them a little bit more. We'll have to see. I'll turn that into something one day. So it's great to have a second journal or additional sheets of paper. When you do put out a bit too much paint, you can either stencil some more images or just cover some pages in your journal, and they become like a use it up page, and you've got a base, a base to start with on your next page. I'm trying to stay nice and tidy in my videos. You should see beyond the filming area. My desk is an absolute nightmare, but we will get there. So just drying those so my pages don't stick together. I actually do go back to that book after this video, after I finish this page, and put some more colour on all those people, so they are now all colourful. So just drying off the paint, because I did want to do some pen work over the top. And I do apologise, my big head gets in the way, but I do need to be a bit closer to my work sometimes when I'm doing detailed work. So basically just scribbling very scribbly around my people, just to give them a defined edge. So I'm just using I believe a Posca paint pen, quite a thin one, and deliberately doing 2 or 3 lines or even more, and not going over my lines. Yes, I could have put my stencil back, or my stencil back and sort of drawn on the inside of it, but I just freehanded it. It was just easier. I didn't really mind if it was messy at all. So just going back and adding a bit more scribbliness, is that a word? Lost for words tonight. So now I wanted to put a stripe across, and I thought in my head I'd do a bit more of a wave than this, but it sort of ended up with like a just like a dip, but that's okay. Just using some black gesso. Yes, it is in a Vegemite jar. When my mediums get only a little bit left in them, I do decant them or do remove them from that particular container and put them into another container that has less airspace in it, so they last a bit longer. And Vegemite jars, we go through that a lot, and they're cute little glass jars, except the black gesso looks a bit like Vegemite, so don't want to muck that one up, do we, with the Vegemite. So just drying off the black gesso. Yes, I could have used black paint. Gesso is a bit more matte. So gesso is traditionally an undercoat, so it has a bit more chalkiness to it. So that's what I wanted. So now I grabbed one of my black cardstock men cutouts, and I'm sorry my head's in the way, and I'm just putting a very scribbly line around the character because I'm going to stick him on, and I just wanted to give him a bit more detail. And of course I go through about 3 different pens to find one that will actually function tonight. White pens and I have issues. I don't know what it is, but it's probably my impatience and dragging them through wet paint and gel medium, but that's beside the point. Sometimes they just don't want to work. And I'm trying to go through my pencil case of white pens and throw out the ones that don't work. I sort of keep throwing them back in the suitcase, the pencil case, and hoping they will sort of come back to life. But yeah, I think some of them are just dead. So this is a paint pen, and just doing some detailing on my black striped line. And again, this paint pen was playing up. You can see me just tapping it off to the scrap paper under my paper. The lines turned out a bit thicker than I wanted because my pen sort of blobbed a bit here and there, but that's alright. I'm okay with it in the end. Not really looking for perfection when I'm art journaling. More looking for time out of my day, sitting down and getting messy and enjoying it. And that is why I sort of, blatantly copied this page, because I wanted to do some art. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wasn't really in the mood for thinking about coming up with something. And that's okay if you want to go, and the term is probably scrap lift, but that's when you copy scrapbook pages, or art journal lift, I suppose we could call it. It's fine to do that when you're stuck for ideas or when you really like something. Of course, it's going to turn out different. I used a different quote. I used a slightly different shaped person. So it never turns out exactly the same, but always give credit where credit is due. And I'm the first to say when it's not my idea, not my original idea. I do have some of those occasionally, but I also enjoy watching many other artists, and if I enjoy their page and what they did, I love to try it out. So I'm putting my quote on, create your own rainbow every day, and in the black person I actually wrote be yourself. So even though I did this with my man stencil and it's a black one of my men's silhouettes, the page doesn't overly look manly or masculine with all the bright colours, and my men look a bit more like aliens at the moment with all the scribbly lines around them. So again, just trying to get this pen to work, and I apologise for my head, and wow, look at all the grey hairs. Time to go back to the hairdresser. What I also did was put a bunch of little just sprinkly dots, sprinkly white dots, both on the craft paper and on the paint, because I had sprinkled some black paint splatters on it. I don't like to splatter a lot on my pages. It looks fantastic, but I tend to splatter everything but where I want to get it, and I did have to clean up a whole lot of splatters. Now this is one of my new loves, and I've been wanting this for ages. It's the Dina Wakley washi tape with a little heart on it. I see Claire from Art Journal Love stick it on a lot of the bodies and a lot of the people she does like this, and I thought, oh, I need that washi tape, and I eventually spoilt myself and bought it. So I put little hearts on every second character with a little bit of washi tape, And then it's time to stick it into my journal. So just using some good old craft glue, I stick it on one side first and then make sure my journal closes, and then I stick the other side down. So although I love working on single sheets of paper, I do like a lot of my pages contained in albums because they sort of have a home and it's nice to flick through them. I am looking at getting some of the binder style systems from Art by Marlene as well. But I am trying to be good and fill up a few of my current journals first before I purchase more. So I will leave you there with the finished page, and I'll see you again soon. The links are below to my website and below to Art Journal Love. Bye for now.